Good to have you with us. Get everything all set up here and we'll be good. There we are. All right. Now then, let me see what I have tagged first off. Rumors flying around today that Trump is going to be firing Kash Patel. He's going to be cut from the admin. Of course, it was immediately shut down by, the Trump admin themselves, the White House. I don't remember who put the claim out there to begin with. MS, what are they calling themselves now? MS Now, I think, or if it was someone else, I don't remember. But yeah, it was pretty quickly shut down by the White House. There we are. Releasing this photo here. Carolyn Levitt saying the story is completely made up. In fact, when this fake news was published, I was in the Oval Office where President Trump was meeting with his law enforcement team, which happened to be, of course, including Kash Patel. Read the headline to the president and he laughed. He said, "What? That's totally false. Come on, Kash, let's take a picture." At least allegedly, that's how this went down. And then they took the photo. Okay. See, where's the claim? Oh, Reuters claiming it. MS Now exclusive. So, okay, so this did trace back to MS Now, formerly MSNBC. Trump considering removing Kash Patel as FBI director in the coming months, as he and his top aides have grown increasingly frustrated by the unflattering headlines Patel has recently generated. Apparently not, so. It didn't take them but maybe an hour, if that, to jump in and shut it down. All right, let me go back to the beginning of my pile of tagged items here. Oh, speaking of Kash, that's right. He did an interview with Catherine Herridge. Dropped last night. I actually have not watched it yet, but maybe we'll check some of that out today. Senator Ruben Gallego confirms the video of Democrats instructing troops to disobey orders was a script. What?
Did you consider, why were you not part of this video?
Yeah, actually, so I was part of the first video. The second video is by the time the script got to me and it was in the middle of...
Well, the script, huh?
A lot was going on. I just didn't have time to actually record it, but I'm 100%...
Oh, who wrote the script?
...in alignment with them altogether.
I mean, it was obvious it was a script. Of course it was, but...
This stuff happens, it just happened not to end up being a recording. There's really no other, 3D chess to this.
The logistics of human life.
Yep.
All right, fair enough. So, what?
Was there more here? Oh, Gallego claiming Trump is going to be gone in a couple of years, and if you're part of the military that is going after sitting members of Congress and part of the weaponization of government, there will be consequences without a doubt. Oh, so now threatening people for following the wrong orders. Now they're crossing that line.
What is your level of trust in the U.S. military justice system, if it were to get that far, to handle this?
I trust them actually a lot, and for a couple reasons. Number one, these are professionals.
Oh, really?
They are also swearing to the Constitution of the United States. They know that there will be fallout and consequences if they are used in a hard way to basically railroad someone like Senator Kelly, because Donald Trump's going to be gone in a couple years. And if you're part of the military that is going after sitting senators, sitting members of Congress, and part of the weaponization of government, there will be consequences, without a doubt. So I think there's going to be a lot of officers that are be part of this potential tribunal, if they want to call it that. They're going to be looking over their shoulders because they know that Donald Trump will be gone and they will not have that protection. They're going to have to do the safest thing possible, which is follow the Constitution of the United States, and you'll be fine.
That's
what
cute.
Is your level of trust?
That's adorable coming from you and your lot. They are Getting really ballsy and or desperate. Comey. Oh yeah, that's right. The other big news last night, the cases against Comey and Letitia James dropped thanks to a federal judge declaring Halligan get exactly what they said about her, but what was it? Let me pull up the article here. What did they rule about her? Found her improperly appointed to her position. That's what it was. And had no lawful authority to secure the indictments. Of course, this is only a temporary. This is going to be obviously appealed by the Justice Department, of course, to the Supreme Court. So, while they're gloating over it now, this is not over.
I'm grateful that the court ended the case against me, which was a prosecution based on malevolence and incompetence, and a reflection of what the Department of Justice has become under Donald Trump, which is heartbreaking. But I was also inspired by the example of the career people who refused to be part of this travesty. It cost some of them their jobs, which is painful, but it preserved their integrity, which is beyond price. And I know they will serve again. I was very lucky that some of the best lawyers in America stepped forward to represent me. I hope they serve as an example to more and more lawyers, especially at some of the big firms, to participate in protecting our liberty, protecting the rule of law. And my family and friends were always with me, and luckily for me, include some of those great lawyers. This case mattered.
Yes, Maureen.
To me personally, obviously, but it matters most because a message has to be sent that the President of the United States cannot use the Department of Justice to target his political enemies. I don't care what your politics are, you have to see that as fundamentally un-American and a threat to the rule of law that keeps all of us free. I know that Donald Trump will probably come after me again, and my attitude's going to be the same. I'm innocent, I am not afraid, and I believe in an independent federal judiciary.
Sure you do, Bob. Oh, you tried to fudge it when you had power. All right. Nice. Mamdani's transition team now includes a professor who calls police class enemies. Says that cops are the natural enemy of the working class and that individual officers do not matter because the structure itself neutralizes their humanity. Wow.
The police officer is the natural enemy of the working class. And the particular economic status of individual police officers, not to mention their attitude about unions or other questions or racial justice, is largely irrelevant because the structural forces at play neutralize those individual characteristics. When push comes to shove, as it literally has all summer, we see very clearly where police allegiance lies and what difference their individual attitude makes, which is close to none.
Where do police officers individually lie in the class struggle? What place do they have?
I think there are class enemies. George Orwell had a funny quote. He said, I stumbled upon a fight in the street between some police officers and some workers. And he's like, I didn't really need to know the details of this encounter to know which side of this struggle I was on.
People, man. God forbid they get their hands on any of the levers of power. Oh, God. Tim Burchett says Elon Musk told him that virtually all the money going through NGOs in Afghanistan has a paper trail that eventually leads back to Washington. So all that aid money is eventually snaking its way around the world and then all the way back and into the pockets of Washington scum.
Almost 1,000
I mean, we've always suspected this, but
NGOs, non-government organizations working out of Afghanistan. I had Marco Rubio in committee, and I asked him.
now think about Haiti, the Clinton Foundation, et cetera, et cetera.
We're giving the Taliban 40 million. This is just an example. 40 million a week. 2 years I've been working on this. I got a freaking memo from the dadgum, State Department, and they're no friends of mine. They're no friends of this country. If that's the deep state, there ever was one. They have, they've told us that we've given them close to $5 billion. And we're still doing it because it goes to the NGOs. The Democrats fought that amendment that we added NGOs into the bill. Why? Because there's 1,000 NGOs, and you know good and well that money's coming right back to Washington. That's what Elon told us. The paper trail runs right back. Now, can I find it? No, I don't have access to those kind of computers. But that's why they're squealing. They're squealing about it.
So squealing about USAID cuts, you're saying that our suspicions are confirmed that the money that's spent at USAID goes right back into Democrat campaign coffers.
Almost 100%. Almost 100%. There's still some Republicans, I think, if they are, that's why leadership, they sent somebody to see me. They sent my buddy, and he sits beside me. Tim, man, some of the chairmen are kind of upset at what you said, and, go through all this stuff. And I said, but it's the truth, right? He goes, well, yeah, we know it's the truth, but you just can't keep saying it. And I keep saying it. So that's why I always tell people I'm not suicidal.
You made a lot of news on our show saying that you believe that there could have been some real payola with some of these Biden pardons.
8,000 pardons. I said 2,000, and it's come out. Somebody said something
8,000.
8,000 freaking pardons. You think Joe couldn't remember what he'd had for breakfast? He couldn't remember where the dadgum bathroom was. And he reviewed 8,000 files on pardons. Give me a freaking break. This is so shady, and it's just Washington, D.C. It happens every day. That's the thing. It happens all the time. But with Trump in there, we're focusing on some of this stuff.
Yeah.
And every department is suspect. And, you just can't get past it.
Yep. Ooh. Jesse Waters talking to a couple CIA agents.
I sort of wanted her to keep talking. I mean, what foolishness. This is a woman who won a year ago by 0.3 of a percentage point in Michigan, by 19,000 votes out of 5 million cast. And she speaks like this: I want the people of Michigan, Arizona to know their senators are interested in sound bites and social media screens rather than facts and figures.
So I talked to 2 CIA officers who said that this is a part of a larger hoax, and what they're doing here is they're trying to condition the country to prepare for something bad that's about to happen at the hands of Donald Trump. It's straight out of the CIA playbook. It's a destabilization operation where you get people to mistrust each other. And you do this because she's an analyst. And as an analyst, she would make sure what propaganda operations were successful, which ones weren't. So she knows what works. So the first part of the video, you establish authority. I'm CIA, I'm military, you need to trust us. Second part of the video, they introduce the threat. And the threat's not foreign, the threat's domestic, the threat's Donald Trump. And then at the end, they introduce the solution. What's the solution? You resist, you say no. But they don't give an option. They say this is an obligation for you to do. Now, she is being run because she didn't come up with this herself. She's a Brennan acolyte. And
Bingo. Who came up with the script? Thank you. Thank you, Jesse. Bingo.
They don't have congressmen and senators doing anything together. They kind of hate each other. So in order to organize this had to have had some sort of handler telling her what to do. And it was risky because nothing like this has ever been done in the history of the country. And you can even tell because the media was skeptical and they couldn't answer the question. So they hadn't even been read in on the operation. You see them fumbling and stumbling. And I'm glad that the U.S. military is now investigating this guy.
I actually saw some people in the media sort of doing their jobs for once with these people, actually asking them like, hey, so what was the impetus? Like, why did you do this? What illegal orders are you so worried about? Either, ones that you claim already happened or are worried about happening in the future. Like, what are they? Because you didn't state it in the video. So what's the deal here? They actually asked a number of these people that, as we have seen in clips over the last couple days. Makes an interesting point there.
Guy Kelly, because this is what we expect from Donald Trump 2.0. You can't have the deep state interfering with a duly elected presidency.
Yeah, I don't think they want their hands dirty on something this desperate and disgusting. It's maybe even a bit too far for them.
And get away with it. You got to draw the line in the sand. And
Yeah. Right. Well, anyway, hold on. Oh yeah, the Carolina Panthers just cut the transgender pretending to be a woman from their cheerleading squad. It's an awkwardly worded title. Yeah. I think there are more of them, so there's more work to be done. I think there are a number of other teams that have these, so they've all got to go too. Trump with the turkey pardons. Excuse me.
Before going any further, I want to make an important announcement, because you remember last year, after a thorough and very rigorous investigation by Pam Bondi and all of the people at Department of Justice, the FBI, the CIA, the White House Counsel's Office, and the Department of Everything. We have a Department of
Everything.
Everything. You know what that is? I think that's called the White House. Into a terrible situation caused by a man named Sleepy Joe Biden. He used an auto pen last year for the turkey's pardon. So I have the official duty to determine.
No, he did not. He used an auto pen on the turkey pardon. Are you serious?
Determined that last year's turkey pardons are totally invalid.
Gonna have to redo him.
As are the pardons of about every other person that was pardoned, other than where's Hunter? No, Hunter's was good. That was the one pardon, Pam, that was good, right? The rest of them are all invalid. I don't know what the hell you're going to do about that, but now we're going to take a little of the joking. That is a mess. But they're hereby null and void. The turkeys known as Peach and Blossom last year have been located, and they were on their way to be processed. In other words, to be killed. But I have stopped that journey, and I am officially pardoning them. And they will not be served for Thanksgiving dinner. We saved them in the nick of time. This one has plenty of time, but they were saved in the nick of time.
Very nice.
On behalf
Yeah, this is another funny moment.
of the First Lady and the entire Trump family, I want to wish all Americans a very, very happy Thanksgiving. It's a great time of the year, and our country is doing really well economically, like we've never done before. Today, we continue a time-honored American tradition. Well, that's a well-trained turkey. Today, we continue a time-honored American tradition. Well, that's a well-trained turkey. See how happy he is? In a few moments, I will grant a full, absolute, and unconditional presidential pardon to two handsome Thanksgiving turkeys, and this is their lucky day. This is a lucky day for them. But before going any further, I want to make an important announcement, because you remember last year, after a thorough and very rigorous investigation by Pam Bondi and all of the people at Department of Justice, the FBI, the CIA, the White House Counsel's Office, and the Department of...
I think we saw, that's the portion we just saw, so. All right. Oh, this isn't a nice one. Just a random veteran. Taking a moment from hunting, I, Thomas Murphy, retired U.S. Navy Hospital Corpsman First Class and Fleet Marine Force Warfare Specialist, have a message for the seditious 6 legislators.
My name is Thomas Murphy. I am a retired United States Navy Hospital Corpsman with a Fleet Marine Force Warfare designation. I am here to make a statement today in regards to the seditious 6 who have the gall to get on social media and post videos encouraging our active duty members to disregard unlawful orders given from the Commander-in-Chief, President Donald J. Trump. This was an attempt to spread dissent among our ranks, and I am calling you out specifically, Senator Kelly, in regards to your seditious behavior. You were an active duty Navy officer, and you, of all people, should have understood the reasons why we take an oath to this country to defend our Constitution, to obey the orders of those appointed over us, and that includes our Commander-in-Chief. I hope that Secretary Hegseth, through the Department of War, recalls you, Senator Kelly, back to active duty and uses the full force of the UCMJ against your seditious behavior, and that you are appropriately punished for this behavior. This is an insult by all of these seditious 6 that took place in these videos. I, as a veteran, condemn these actions.
Bravo, sir. Indeed. Disgusting. China has launched their unmanned Shenzhou 22 rocket to the Tiangong space station, supplying the astronauts with a ride home after the original one, Shenzhou 20, was damaged by space debris, apparently.
China's first
stranded up there for a little bit.
Emergency space launch reached orbit Tuesday after damage to a space station vessel earlier this month. According to China Manned Space Agency, the unmanned Shenzhou 22 blasted off from northwest China at 12:11 p.m. local time. The spacecraft will travel to China's permanently inhabited Tiangong space station, where astronauts currently have no craft that could bring them back in the event of an emergency. Earlier this month, the attached Shenzhou 20 spacecraft, which was meant to return 3 astronauts to Earth,
it had a boo-boo,
was deemed unsafe to use. It has suffered a cracked window, probably caused by an impact from space debris.
Can't be having it.
Now, the Shenzhou 22 will give the stranded astronauts a way home. It's also carrying spare parts to repair the damaged Shenzhou 20.
And the fresh fruit and vegetable.
As well as fresh fruit and vegetables for the crew.
Students at Southern School of Energy and Sustainability in Durham, North Carolina, marched through the halls shouting F ICE, while teachers cheered and filmed the demonstration. Sounds like appropriate behavior for a teacher. Ooga booga cha cha cha. Ooga booga cha cha cha. Dear God. This is a college? What is this? It's supposed to be a School of Energy and Sustainability. This looks sustainable. Yeah, they can sustain this. This will end well. Keep going with that. Just do more of this. See where it goes. Ooga booga cha cha cha. All right. Trump goes off on J.B. Pritzker and calls him a big fat slob. It's fantastic.
So all the
because he is.
Crime that took place last night, the night before, the woman with the burning, they burned the woman to be talking about that now. They burned this beautiful woman riding in a train. A man was arrested 72 times. 72 times, think of that. And they'll let him out again.
Oh, what? It's your birthday, Steph? Happy birthday. What? Oh, I missed that. Happy birthday. Woo!
The liberal judges will let him out again. But we're ready to go. You know, we've been moving toward Chicago. We have a governor that thinks it's wonderful that only like 7 people were killed this week. But we are moving toward doing it, and we're going to, if crime gets, it's horrible what's happening in Chicago. We could make Chicago a safe city in a period of 4 weeks. In a period of,
I think you can hear the turkeys still gobbling in the background.
8 weeks, 9 weeks, 10 weeks, it would be totally safe. And the people of Chicago want us to go there. And if you look at the crime that's taken place in Chicago in the last 2 weeks, just take a look. It's on the front page of every newspaper. It's out of control. The mayor is incompetent, and the governor is a big fat slob.
Yes! You could tell he was like, should I say it? Should I say it? I'm going to say it. Fuck it. I'm saying it.
So all the crime that took, we are city in a period of 4 weeks.
Or was it?
The crime that's taken, it's on the front page. The mayor is incompetent.
There it is.
And the governor is a big fat slob. He ought to invite us in, say,
yes,
please make Chicago safe. We're going to lose a great city if we don't do it quickly. Make Chicago, we'll do the same thing
Rescue Chicago from the big fat slob monster.
We did in
J.B. Pritzker.
D.C., the same thing as we did everywhere we've gone.
Oh, yeah, Tucker Carlson went on the Sean Ryan show, eh? What did I tag here? Oh, yeah, this is a decent one, actually.
I mean, when you're talking about telling truth, when you're talking about, and the way I take that is exposing, shining the light in the darkness.
I'm interested in the elimination of white people.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, white people
isn't that like self-evident at this point?
Targeted for disappearance, and no one wants to say that because they've been bullied into not noticing or talking about it because you're like a white supremacist. Well, I'm not a white supremacist. I don't think whites are inherently superior to any other group. I don't judge how I feel about someone by his race. I never have.
I just like to have, my own space for my people, my country. A country, at least, where things just don't go down the tubes. It'd be nice.
I'm never going to. It's against my religion and it's against my instinct. I believe in what people are like. But I travel a lot around the world, and I'm not an expert in the world, but I know more about it than people who don't travel a lot. And I'm leaving this week again. And one thing that I have noticed, because it's impossible not to notice, is that majority white countries are becoming non-majority white, and that's a result
all over the world
of policies that are deliberate, that are not popular with the populations of those countries, and that people are discouraged from noticing it. In some places, they're arrested, like in Great Britain, where I'm going on Friday. So it's like, what is that? And it's not happening in one or two, but in every single one.
Yeah. Oh.
And what's so interesting is because no one's been allowed to talk about it, the only people who talk about it are like crazy race theorists or, prison inmates who are like, whatever, caught up in.
They've already crossed that line anyway, like it's no big deal to them. Not like they have anything that they stand to lose in the process. So there's no fear being held, holding them down, holding them back. Very different story for the average person.
Being white or something. By the way, you didn't choose to be white, okay? It's nothing you did. You didn't choose to have your eye color, your height. None of these things you can brag about because you didn't do them. they're an accident of your birth. So I've never agreed with any of that crap. But because normal people have been bullied into not noticing, the only people who ever say anything about it are people who are like obsessed with it. But it is an incredible thing that every white country on the planet except Russia, the one everyone hates,
Poland maybe, kind of,
is on the road in very short order to become completely different from what it was 50 years ago. In its population, demographically different. Is that an accident? Well, of course, it's not an accident. It's the result of a bunch of different, it's a multi-pronged strategy, clearly, to make the populations of those countries hate themselves for how they were born and accept these changes. It's been systematic. What is that?
Yep.
I'm not, as I said, I'm not a white supremacist. By the way, I would just admit it at this point. Why do I care? I'm a white supremacist. Okay. I'm actually not. I disagree with that. Don't think that you should be obsessed with people's appearance, or the accident of their birth or their genetics. I just am opposed to all of that. Again, for the 8th time, Paul, the chief prosecutor, murderer of Christians, became the most important Christian once he met Jesus. So if you need more examples, I don't know what they could be, that people can totally change. There's nothing to do with how you're born. It's what you become. And that's my deepest belief. So,
but yeah, it's happening.
If I sound defensive, it's because we have all been trained to ignore this amazing thing that's never happened before in history, where one group of people,
at least not this way,
is being destroyed. And of course, have internalized that and are now enthusiastically participating in their own destruction and the death of an entire group of people.
Invasions and replacements have certainly happened before, but not in the way that this one's going down. This one, new territory. Okay, Mark Kelly being a bitch, that's right. We'll skip it. This is nuts. Police in Meriden, Connecticut, searching for a man accused of stealing $8,000 worth of brass railings from the steps of a local church. Signs of dystopia. How nice. Ah, and sounds of dystopia. We get some ASMR too. Oh, wow. That's a lot of brass. $8,000, huh? Yeah. Oh, some good news. Rush Hour 4 has been officially greenlit, with Paramount set to distribute the film on behalf of Warner Brothers for a double-digit distribution fee. Ooh. I mean, yeah, this will do big numbers, no doubt. The long-stalled sequel was revived after a push from none other than President Trump, apparently. And brings the old director Brett Ratner back after years on the sidelines. Yeah, I don't even remember the last film he did. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's right. He ran into some shit during Me Too. I don't recall the details of all that. But wow, he hasn't worked since 2014, Hercules. I don't even remember that one. The Rock. Cringe. Rush Hour 3 back in 2007 was like the last big one. And that one wasn't nearly as good as the first two, which were much better. The original's such a classic. Such a great film. Thoroughly enjoyed that as a young buck. Yeah. I loved Rush Hour. Boy, Jackie Chan's pretty old now, though. He's 70s. We're in his 70s. He's probably still plenty capable of doing some kick-ass shit, though. Wow. So I wonder what the story is with Trump getting mixed with that. Trump and Hegseth crossed the Rubicon today. That's what the tards are saying on, what channel is this? CNN. Their attack on Mark Kelly thrusts America into a new dangerous place. Oh, this should be a fun one.
With us now, Paul Rieckhoff, founder and president of Independent Veterans of America. Paul, great to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, one of those lefty think tanks that thrive on doing this stupid shit.
What message do you think this sends to threaten to recall Senator Kelly for a court-martial?
I think it's exactly what Trump said. He wants to set an example. And Senator Kelly is a noted veteran. He's respected by people from all parties. He's an astronaut. He's a combat Navy aviator. And I think what Trump wants to say is, if I can come after him, I can come after anyone. He's made it pretty clear he wants to come after his political enemies.
Oh, that's fun. That's hilarious.
He wants to intimidate people. I think it's important to remember.
Are we just going to completely forget the history from a whopping how many years ago? Not even 4 years ago.
2 million military retirees in America. So he can come after this guy for his political speech or for something he doesn't agree with. I think he's trying to send a very effective and chilling message, not to senators, but to average people all across the country. And that's why this is so dangerous, so outrageous, so ridiculous, because it's about much more than just these 6 members. This is about free speech in America.
That's funny. Again, real rich after the 4 years of the previous admin, you shithead.
For 2 million military retirees.
Well, so how does that sit with you then? How does it land with you?
It's terrible. It's absolutely egregiously bad, dangerous, crazy. It would be an understatement, because this is creeping across the line into authoritarianism. This is
God
crossing the Rubicon. This is going to a space
wow.
he's never gone before. The idea you can drag him back onto active duty and threaten court-martial, which I don't think any
that is how that. Yeah, that can be done.
There's any grounds to do, but the fact that he's
really, I beg to differ.
Threatening to do it is breaking glass that's never been broken before in the modern military, and it's very, very.
So that is crossing the Rubicon, but the video that the 6 losers did, which has no precedent of any kind, that isn't. That's fine. That's okay.
Very dangerous, and all Americans, no matter what your political background is, should be outraged.
So Secretary
Hegseth
wrote on social media, the video made by the seditious 6, and he called them the seditious 6, was despicable, reckless, and false, encouraging our warriors to ignore the orders of their commanders, undermines every aspect of good order and discipline. Their foolish screed sows doubt and confusion, which only puts our warriors in danger. It's the argument the president and the White House have been making for days now. What's your response to that?
It's a total misrepresentation of what everyone can see.
Well, that's funny, because from where I'm sitting, complete opposite's true.
You know, I don't think this video was necessary. I think most folks in the military know they have to refuse illegal orders, but it's not seditious. It's not traitorous. It's not something you drag somebody back into wherever for a UCMJ trial. It's weaponizing the Department of Defense. They've been moving the pieces in place to do this for a long time, by purging senior leadership, by removing the...
Something, of course, that him and his friends on the left certainly have never done, could never be guilty of, right?
The chairman of the Joint Chiefs, by removing JAGs. What he's done with the Justice Department, we saw how that landed today with Comey and Letitia James. He's now trying to do the same thing with the Defense Department, and he's using Kelly as the first example.
How surprised are you this sort of had this second act? Because the whole first round was the end of last week with the initial video, and
so many leaps of logic, and just the people that watch these channels are truly a unique beast. You've never met one of them up close. Yeah. Sadly, they're all over the place, everywhere. Okay, we covered those. Oh, Neera Tanden, wow, apparently told U.S. troops that Trump issued illegal orders on narco terror strikes. What? reinforcing the message pushed by the six in that video, these seditious six as they're being called now. So what is she proposing? Admirals and captains at sea in the Gulf of America start following orders from who? Her? Yeah. What? Congress? Who? Neera Tanden informed U.S. troops that President Trump's operations against narco-terror vessels were illegal, alleging unnamed military lawyers agreed. You're going to have to do better than that, bitch. A claim, of course, offered with no proof. Like the Seditious Six TikTok, her message implies service members should stop following Trump's commands. Oh, does she even toss in the old refrain, don't give up the ship like they do? Does she throw that in there too? Legal experts note encouraging disobedience violates federal anti-sedition laws and threatens good order and discipline. You'd think so. Look at this nasty, nasty woman. Just a reminder that the president's own military lawyers have said his strikes are illegal. If they are illegal, people carrying them out are following illegal orders. This is the very non-controversial point of the video. Well, then why couldn't they just state that in those terms? Why, when asked on multiple occasions on live television, did they not say that? Yeah. All right. Now let's go to Miss Steph's pile. Happy birthday again. Happy birthday. Hope you've been having a good one. Hopefully enjoying much nicer weather than we're having here. It's a nasty day today. Rainy, cold, gray, nasty looking. Okay. Oh boy, there's even more. My goodness gracious. Ooh wee. Lots to go through. There we are. Okay, we got some chapter markers for the Patel interview. Anything interesting in here? Pipe bomb, let's see. Oh, it's very brief, only 1 minute. There are new developments, he says. Let's see it.
Public finds out the presentations we will be making if we get to a judicial decision, then they will see how much was missed in this case and what we have done. And I hope the American public will realize our commitment to putting out as much information as we can when we can on cases of great public importance.
There's been a lot of media reporting about the pipe bomb case recently. Have there been any significant breakthroughs for the FBI in recent days?
Yes.
Of course, I'd like to have a little bit more, but can you share any more? Do you expect that there will be a charge before the end of the year?
My job is to protect the integrity of the investigation, and I know that causes a lot of backlash from some sectors of the online community, but I'd rather speak through our casework in public and be able to assure the American public that we are delivering actual accountability than just sit here and tell you, I think we're going to get them.
The military has conducted at least 21 strikes on alleged drug variants.
That's it? Okay, well, that's it. Okay. FBI headquarters. Patel said he hopes by the end of next year we'll have a large chunk of our workforce at the Ronald Reagan building. They're moving from the Hoover to the Reagan building?
And how many delegations they had.
Is there a brief update on the status of the new FBI headquarters?
There's a great update. You're here in the old one, which we can confidently say is the old one. We're moving to the Ronald Reagan building, which is just basically across the street. It is a project that people have been trying to accomplish since 2000. And under President Trump's leadership, he saw that this building was unsafe for the workforce. And if you guys walk around with your camera crew, you'll literally see netting here that is holding up falling pieces of cement so it doesn't hit employees on the head. This workforce deserves a high-tech, upgraded version of a headquarters building. And the great part is Prior administrations wanted to spend nearly $5 billion on building a new building that wouldn't be completed until 2036. We are taking already appropriated funds in the maintenance of just this building and utilizing, instead of the maintenance of this building, to move over into Reagan and upgrade it. And we will save over $3.5 billion by doing so. We've already secured and moved into one of the floors over there. And now we have some security assessment work going on. And I hope by the end of next year, we'll have a large chunk of our workforce there. And we'll also consolidate a lot of the wasteful spending on leases in other government properties that the FBI uses in the NCR and come under one place.
Final question.
Charlie Kirk investigation.
Is because
I'm gonna guess there's nothing here, but let's hear it.
Because of President Trump's leadership.
On the Charlie Kirk assassination investigation, you testified recently that more than 20 people were on the Discord chat related to the suspect, Tyler Robinson. Have you spoken to those people? Is it now a larger universe of 20 people?
Well, so with the Charlie case, it's a matter that is being led by the state authorities in Utah because it is a homicide investigation that is being prosecuted by the state. So us as the FBI
Yeah, okay.
are partners and part of that prosecution team. We're not the lead, and it's very much ongoing. So there is a lot of legal process being doled out, and we are committed to issuing every piece of legal process and search warrant that we can to talk to absolutely everyone and anyone who had anything to do with the assassination of my friend. And we're going to continue to do that and also honor the prosecutor's wishes and how we do that and what we release publicly.
Respecting that it is an ongoing investigation, is there any evidence of foreign involvement? Is there any evidence that Tyler
Well, at least she asked that.
Robinson had help?
Again, that will be spoken through by the prosecutors. If I, as the FBI director, commented on that right now in any way, shape, or form, that would hurt their case. And the worst thing that can happen is the individual who's charged and has his day in court down the road is if we, the FBI, or another law enforcement agency improperly commented on evidence and gave the defense an unfair advantage during the trial.
Fair enough, I suppose. We will indeed have to wait for a time. Oh, okay, hold on. That's another important question. Is the Crooks investigation a closed case? Could she hit him with that too?
One of the big cases you inherited is the attempted assassination of President Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. What are the findings?
So as you know, Catherine, we've been briefing the president constantly on this matter, and he's very satisfied with it. And I understand the public's desire for more and more information. But when we came in, our job was to both treat the president as the president of the United States and a victim, and remind the American public that there were 3 other victims, and tragically one person even lost his life. So there are certain victims' rights that we have to honor. But what we did and what we presented and what we released is the full findings that we are able to publicize to the world that definitively answer questions regarding Butler. We seized dozens and dozens of devices. We exploited and got into every single one of those devices. We got onto all the online platforms and social media sites of the assailant of Crooks. And we did a re-canvassing just to double down since we got in and inherited this case. And we gave out information to Congress and the public that the prior administration refused to do.
Just to be clear, did Thomas Crooks act alone?
Yes, based on the evidence that we have, that is the conclusive finding of the matter.
Is there evidence of foreign involvement?
There, as we indicated in our public disclosures, Thomas Crooks had some online platforms where he engaged through email with a couple of individuals overseas, and we chased those down literally to the end, and basically it was just that. Online email accounts overseas without any substantive communications.
What was Thomas Crooks' motive?
He, as has been publicized, had a basically hateful relationship with the United States government, talked disparagingly about both political parties, to include President Trump, and talked about the need to take matters into his own hands, and unfortunately that's what he did.
Under Director Wray, were there missed opportunities to stop Thomas Crooks?
Of course there were. All right, let's keep going. Enormous development as Trump reveals, okay, apparently they're very close to a peace deal with Russia and Ukraine. Of course, we've heard that before. He says a trilateral meeting might happen soon, apparently. Pulling Witkoff to meet with Putin in Moscow and Army Secretary Driscoll to Ukraine. Steps are being taken, so it's at least a good sign. Democrat DC Mayor Muriel Bowser will not seek re-election next year. Huh. Haven't really been able to make sense of her. Made some very odd moves lately. This obviously being one of them. Although I guess that'll kind of depend on whether or not she continues on in politics, trying to, you know, work her way up the ladder. If she gets out entirely at this point, like that's, I really kind of wonder what happened. Secretary Doug Burgum says we're making it easier and more affordable for Americans to experience the beauty and freedom of our public lands. 2026, we're launching America First pricing, digital passes, patriotic pass designs, expanded motorcycle access, and 5 additional fee-free days.
This year, we're making it easier and more affordable.
I'd like to know more about these digital passes, please.
For every American.
And consider me skeptical. Already, just at the name.
To experience the beauty and freedom of our public lands. Starting in 2026, United States residents will be able to purchase an annual interagency pass for just $80. This incredible pass gives the holder access to all of our 63 flagship national parks, hundreds of national historic sites and battlefields, and our over 200 million acres of amazing U.S. national forests. And for our international visitors, a new $250 pass ensures they contribute their fair share to help preserve and maintain these treasured places. We're also unveiling commemorative new designs for our park passes. We're offering new designs on our annual pass, the volunteer pass, the military pass, and our senior pass. It is the department's honor to showcase the America the Beautiful Pass, honoring America's 250th anniversary and the generations who've protected our lands. To celebrate, we're adding 5 new fee-free days for U.S. residents during calendar 2026. This brings the total of fee-free days to 10 for next year.
That's not too bad.
A few of these new fee-free days include Sunday, June 14th, Flag Day, which is also fittingly President Trump's birthday. Thursday, September 17th, Constitution Day, and on October 27th, the birthday of Theodore Roosevelt, who played an enormous role in the creation of our national park system, and our 573 U.S. Fish and Wildlife refuges will also be a fee-free day.
That's pretty cool.
And as recognition of the 250th anniversary of America's founding, July 3rd, 4th, and 5th of 2026 will all be fee-free days across our incredible national park system.
Pretty
As
cool.
Theodore Roosevelt once said, there can be no greater issue than that of conservation in this country. And if you buy one of these park passes or plan a visit to one of our parks, you're contributing to conservation of these incredible places. We're also making it easier to access our parks. Starting on January 1, a digital pass will be available for the very first time. For those of you that love to travel by motorcycle through our beautiful parks, one pass will now cover 2 motorcycles.
Oh, they tell you nothing about it. That's nice. Sounds like it's optional for now. And we did that. Did the auto pen bit. Gobble and Waddle.
They go by the names of Gobble and Waddle. When I first saw their pictures, I thought we should send them, well, I shouldn't say this. I was gonna call them Chuck and Nancy. But then I realized I wouldn't be pardoning them. I would never pardon those 2 people.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
These are two of the largest turkeys ever presented to an American president, over 50 pounds each. It's the largest we've ever had. And those are big turkeys. Are they as good as the normal sized turkey? Better or as good? Do they tend to be a little fatty, maybe? No, he said no. He knows the turkey business. Anyway, despite their size, Secretary Kennedy has formally certified that these are the first ever Maha turkeys. I don't know if I agree with that. These are Maha. In other words, they could be fat, but they're still Maha. Okay. They've been fattened on a steady diet of grass, beef, to allow the smoothies and all of the other things that they've been eating for this occasion. This was a really big occasion, but they've eaten every fattening food that you can eat. We wanted to really make them special, and they really are. They're like record-setting. I've never seen a turkey that big before. These are
Come on, show the turkeys, man. Look at these things. That is the Chungus turkey.
Are you ready? Gobble. I just want to tell you this very important.
Gobble. I just want to tell you.
You are hereby unconditionally pardoned.
Wow. He's petting the turkey now. Nice. You know, it's nice. It's a nice turkey. It has a nice feeling.
That's good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody. In less than 1 year, we've accomplished more than most other administrations have accomplished in 8 years. And this is a very special Thanksgiving. We thank God for his many blessings and the great success that this country has seen in the short period of time. We draw strength from the love of family and friends, and we express our undying gratitude for the men and the women of the United States Armed Forces. We love them. We pray that peace and prosperity will continue to bless our land, and together we'll really just keep this great drive going to make America great again. MAGA, I think it's the greatest expression in the history of politics. Make America great again. In less than
Rick Grenell on War Room. I don't know what about though. Let's have a look. See.
20 and 2022 campaigns undermining democracy. They were trying to say Republicans were undermining democracy. That video is that they did, the Seditious Six. This is a call to arms to undermine the democracies.
It's astounding that they crossed the line the way they did. It's really just a bizarre move.
This is a call to arms, a fire in the hole, looking for people who will undermine our democracy for political gain, for their political gain. This is very clear what they're doing. They're literally trolling the bureaucracy and the intelligence community for people who will say anything to undermine Donald Trump, undermine the duly elected leader, undermine our democracies simply for their little political gain in the midterms. This is outrageous. This is an insurrection. To have people go out and say you don't need to follow illegal orders. What people hear in the intelligence community and in the bureaucracy is the Democrats will protect me if I just say no to the commander-in-chief. If I don't do what I'm ordered to do, and then we somehow pretend like it's illegal, or we throw it to the Ninth Circuit, which always says the Republicans are wrong, Trump is wrong. This is a teetering system. And what I think Elissa Slotkin and Michiganders need to understand is they were duped by this woman. She spent a year and a half saying, I'm an intelligence officer, I'm a former CIA official, I care about the middle ground, I'm someone who's thoughtful, I'm in the middle, I'm not political, I'm a moderate.
A hag and a liar.
She duped people.
Yep.
And what we now know is Elissa Slotkin is one of the most left-wing leaders and is literally undermining our democracy. We should say it very clearly. We should hit this extremely hard. You cannot have a sanctuary city and pretend like you're not undermining democracy. You can't have your own ways of doing things and encouraging people to go against the duly elected president and then pretend like you're not mounting an insurrection or attacking our democracy. These people are hypocrites. We need to call it out, and do not wait for the media to do it, because they are in bed with these people. They want this to happen. They want to undermine the president because they like the debate, they like the clicks, they're all in the media for money. And so we need to be very clear about this and call them out and make sure that they understand that they don't get to undermine the duly elected president, President Trump, or mount an insurrection or do something that undermines our democracy without getting called out for it. They're hypocrites.
Okay. One of the reasons you're one of the closest advisors to the president, Ambassador, is that you're not a theoretician, you're a man of action. What action? Do you support Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, recalling Senator Mark Kelly, Navy captain, to active duty and court-martialing under the Uniform Code of Military Justice, sir?
Ooh. Look, because he's a U.S. Senator, we've got to be very careful here. But there is no question that what Mark Kelly and Alyssa Slotkin are leading is undermining our democracy. They're doing it in a cute political way. They're pretending like, oh, it's only if he does illegal actions. That's not what we heard. That is not what the video is about, and that's certainly not what intelligence officers are going to hear. And let's remember one thing, Steve. This entire Russia collusion hoax, which started right before the election of 2016 when President Trump won, and then it really mounted right after, and then you lived through it at the White House in 2017. This Russian collusion hoax is exactly what they're trying to do now, because if you remember, they got the intelligence community to undermine the president and to turn on common sense and to do things that were illegal. We now know that. The FBI was helping. So you have the bureaucracy and the intelligence community that are literally going after President Trump, leaking against him half-truths, undermining him, taking him to courts to make sure that they're mounting this insurrection against him. They're doing it all from the comfort of a federal job. And so my warning was to John Radcliffe and Tulsi Gabbard, who are doing great jobs. They need to dig deep and understand that these rotten apples within the bureaucracy who are leaking political information for political gain are the ones who need to get ousted. I would fire them immediately. I would find them and fire them. And of course, you're going to be challenged in court over it. So what? Go to court and fight it. But when you find people who sit in a federal job and decide that they get to bring in their own political views, even though they didn't campaign in Iowa and New Hampshire and South Carolina. They didn't raise money. They didn't do any of the work that our founding fathers described that you need to do in order to win the presidency. They don't have the right to do that. I think that we're in this state of Washington, D.C. trying to control the rest of America. We have to control Washington, D.C. They work for the federal government, which is headed by Donald Trump, who is the duly elected president. He should be able to fire whoever he wants, and every single person who works in the federal bureaucracy should be implementing the vision that he gave to the American people over the last 2 years, and they validated and said, that's the one that we want, that's the vision, that's the path that we want. Anyone who stands in the way should resign or be fired, and we shouldn't even think twice about it.
Ambassador, where do people get you on social media?
Trump's set to speak to U.S. service members on Thanksgiving from Palm Beach. Interesting move in the face of all this stuff from these wackos. So the FBI, is, I guess, is apparently arranging interviews with all of them, huh? Senator Mark Kelly apparently sending around messages begging for money. All hands on deck. Donate. The Department of War is investigating Mark Kelly because they don't like what he has to say. I think it goes a little deeper than that, sir. Okay. Murder rate in Memphis cut in half since the feds have gotten involved. Crime rate at its lowest in 20 years. A Minnesota judge has overturned a jury's guilty verdict in a $7.2 million Medicaid fraud case. Wow. Yusuf and his wife, Lul Ahmed, were accused of siphoning $7.2 million in taxpayer money through Medicaid overbilling in a personal care assistance scam. Wow. Prosecutors said the couple funneled tens of thousands of dollars of those funds into luxury purchases for themselves. Wow. Ah, wowie. A Haitian man arrested in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina for repeatedly assaulting a woman and threatening her with murder by sending her images of severed heads. You know, voodoo stuff. Who allowed these people to enter our country? Well, I think we all know.
North Myrtle Beach police arrested a man accused of repeatedly raping a woman and threatening to kill her. Orlando Petithomme faces a first-degree criminal sexual conduct charge. The woman told officers the 27-year-old forced her to have sex with him for almost a year. She also said that he showed her a picture of severed human heads and told her the same would happen to her if she didn't behave. At last check, Petithomme is in jail on a $50,000 bond.
Oh, don't worry. He'll be released soon. Campbell's Soup scandal continues. What, there's more? What now? Oh, that's nice. They're admitting to thousands of Clean Water Act violations, dumping pollutants like phosphorus and E. coli into the river, causing toxic algae blooms. Massive fraud exposed in Minnesota from Somalians. Oh, exactly what we've been saying they've been doing the whole time.
We're
Shocking.
talking about billions of dollars that have been stolen from American taxpayers. And Ilhan Omar and the rest of them seem more outraged at those of us who reported on it, those of
they're
us
mad they got caught, yeah.
who noticed it, and those of us who blew the whistle. But this scandal is not going away.
Now, Minnesota tax dollars apparently ending up in the hands of terrorists overseas.
Because of course they did.
Oh, how's that happening and why? So we'll get to an alarming detail about that coming.
Senate report exposes that the Biden admin forced at least 11 airports to house illegal aliens and migrants despite warnings it might place American travelers at risk.
Biden administration allegedly pressured airports to house migrants despite warnings it could compromise safety and put travelers at risk. That, according to
Yeah, they were not checking these people, like, at all.
a new bombshell Senate report that says the Biden administration directed federal agencies to find airport facilities that could be used as shelters or migrant processing facilities. At least 11 airports were allegedly asked to find space, including Chicago's O'Hare and JFK here in New York.
Wow.
Biden administration
Hegseth hitting it, Mark Kelly here on Twitter, really. So Captain Kelly, quote unquote captain, not only did your sedition video intentionally undercut good order and discipline, but you can't even display your uniform correctly. Oh man. Your medals are out of order and rows reversed. When and if you are recalled to active duty, it'll start with a uniform inspection. That's ridiculous. How long has he been out? It's funny, I guess, but Trump likely to tap loyalist Kash Patel for top. Oh, that's old. Yeah, never mind. That's from last year. MS Now published. We covered that and all the Kash Patel stuff. A progressive Minnesota judge, Sarah West, has overturned the jury's conviction of one Abdi Fattah Yusuf, a Somali man found guilty of stealing $7.2 million in a Medicaid scam, allowing him to walk free. Yeah, the story we just covered like 5 minutes ago.
At the August trial for Abdi Fattah Yusuf, the jury heard evidence that he ran his home health care company Promise Health out of a mailbox at a Central Avenue address where multiple other home health care companies were supposedly located. Yusuf and his wife Lol Ahmed were charged with stealing $7.2 million of taxpayer money through Medicaid overbilling in a personal care assistant or PCA scam. The couple allegedly spent tens of thousands of the fraud money on luxury items for themselves. Despite
going to Michael Kors, Canada Goose, I don't know. Saw Best Buy on there, spent like $4,000 at Best Buy.
The jury swiftly convicting Yusuf,
$2,600 at Peloton.
Judge Sarah West last week decided they got it wrong.
It's reversing or overturning a jury's verdict.
Defense attorney Joe Tamburino, who's not affiliated with this case, reviewed the decision and analyzed it for KARE 11 News. He says Judge West ruled that the state's case relied heavily on circumstantial evidence and that she believed the state did not rule out other reasonable inferences.
That, in fact, there could have been other reasonable theories other than guilt in this case. That's what it comes down to.
Despite the ruling, even Judge West wrote that she is troubled by the manner in which fraud was able to be perpetuated at Promise Health.
I was stunned.
State Representative Kristen Robbins, chair of the House Fraud Prevention and State Oversight Committee, says she's now reviewing if any state laws need to be tightened.
We want to strengthen state law so that we can get prosecutions out of these cases, because clearly a jury thought he was guilty.
Jurors in the case can't believe the decision.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked based off of all of the evidence that was presented to us and the obvious guilt that we saw based off of the said evidence. It was not a difficult decision whatsoever. The deliberation took probably 4 hours at most, based off of the state's evidence that was presented.
Yeah, well, he's brown, so he gets to skirt the law.
I was beyond
That's how it works now.
a reasonable doubt.
The attorney for Mr. Yusuf, Ian Burrell, sent me a statement today that says, in part, Judge West's ruling affirms what we have maintained from the beginning, that our client, Mr. Yusuf, was wrongfully accused and did not commit fraud or racketeering. The Attorney General's office filed an appeal this afternoon, so the Minnesota Court of Appeals will take a second look at this decision. Julie.
So, Lou, did Mr. Tamburino, did he have any kind
That is just sick. Minnesota, though. Inflation came in lower than expected, okay, for the month of September. Numbers were delayed due to the shutdown. Yeah. Only slightly lower, 2.6% actual versus 2.7 estimated. Just a touch. Got Besson commenting on the call between Trump and Xi Jinping.
One year, what I would say, pause. And Becky, what I feel very good about is the relationship between the leaders, because when the leaders can have calls like this at the highest level, then bad things don't happen. It was the strong relationship, President Trump showing leadership that sort of calm things down between the two countries. And look, we're always going to be rivals. We're always going to be rivals. That's natural. But are there things we can do together? Yes. We have the relationship in a good place. President Trump is going to do a state visit to Beijing. Xi is going to come to the U.S. for a state visit. He'll also be in the U.S. for the G20 at Doral, and President Trump may attend the APEC summit in Shenzhen in November. So if there are 4 meetings during the year, I think that gives the relationship great stability, and stability is good for the American people and good for the world economy.
More on the crap going on in Minnesota. So this is an entirely different case, apparently. Maybe, or is it, I don't. Maybe this is the same one. 2 more Somalian immigrants caught stealing millions of dollars from taxpayers in Minnesota.
How did you and your brother get involved in this HSS scheme?
Yeah, this is a different one.
Fraud was a family affair for the Adows, as the 2 brothers have now pleaded guilty here in federal court to defrauding Minnesota's housing stabilization program out of millions of dollars.
Wow. Assad Adow, owner of Leo Human Services, admitted in court that his company
ripped off taxpayers to the tune of $2.7 million, falsely claiming to help 250 people find housing.
How many vulnerable people did you leave sitting in a snowbank so you could line your own pockets?
It's not the first time Mr. Adow did not want to answer our questions.
People say you're not doing work, that you're billing thousands of dollars for work that's not being done.
Look at that. Duper's delight.
My channels, man. I'm doing everything I am correctly.
Carol Levin.
What is it with Somalians, man?
Investigates.
First, like a thing with them, it seems.
First approached the BMW driving business owner last spring as we uncovered clients' claims.
Not exactly the kind of culture you'd think you'd want to let into, you know, ours.
Forged signatures and fraudulent billing.
I did not sign this legal document.
How would you describe that $14,000 that was billed to your Medicaid?
Fraud. On every level.
Wow.
Assad's brother, Anwar, was running another HSS company, also committing fraud, called Liberty Plus, out of the Adow family's Blaine home. When agents raided the property, they found stacks of cash, tens of thousands of dollars, hidden under a mattress and in a suitcase beneath the stairs.
How much money did you move overseas?
As part of his plea deal, Assad admitted he used the money he fraudulently billed to buy property in Kenya.
Oh, yeah, I bet he's sitting pretty.
Both brothers face 4 to 5 years in prison. Watch.
Is that it? Seriously? That's nothing. They'll serve, what, 3.5? If that, if they don't get busted out like the other ones we just heard about, and they'll be hightailing it overseas to go enjoy their cushy life in Kenya.
Housing Hustle on Carol11.com.
It's sick, man. No wonder shit sucks in this country. I mean, God almighty. Like, this is sick.
I literally just found you guys the perfect gift.
What is this?
Stocking stuffer, white elephant gift, or if you're on the left, it can be a gag gift. We all know who that is. Doesn't even know he's alive. I'm really trying. I've tried to record this so many times, but it keeps cracking me up. Literally.
A bad little business idea there. But they make decent money with that. Yeah, I saw this today. This is hilarious. A host of conservative influencers posted a garbage copy and pasted ad on X for a ridiculous sports gambling site, BiggerZ.com. They all happen to be from a certain corner of the internet. Stu Peters, top of the list, Jake Shields, Elijah Schaefer, Morgan Ariel, Pearl Davis, Matt Wallace, king of clickbait idiot bullshit, and others. Bigger Z is a crypto casino operated by, let's see, CDK Play Inc. SRL. Its website based out of Lithuania, but it uses some trash gambling license from India, and it's not even available in the United States. Can't even use it if you're based in the US. And all these morons are taking money to shill for it. These are heroes to certain people. These morons. Jake Shields, Stu Peters, sorry. Elijah Schaefer, Pearl Davis. Lord. Wonder what they took. Wonder how much money they take to say other things. Push other things. I mean, once you've crossed that line once, it's all bets are off, right? Your soul's already sold. Human Events has received leaked text messages from Senator Ruben Gallego. Democrat women look like Democrat men. Democrat men look like women. Moment of honesty behind closed doors, huh, Ruben? Their women look like men, and their men look like women. Yeah. Got that right, buddy. Brazil's Bolsonaro exhausts appeals, will have to serve, 27-year court sentence. Oh, man. That's sad. Jeez. I hope Trump steps in to help him somehow. I don't know what's even possible with that, but it's crazy. And that's after getting stabbed. Didn't he get stabbed too? Brutally. Almost died. Eesh. Okay. The White House says here, I look forward to hopefully meeting with President Zelensky and President Putin soon, but only when the deal to end this war is final or in its final stages. Let's hope that peace can be accomplished as soon as possible.
You were a Democrat for a long time, and
Scott Bessent. I gave money to something called Ready for Hillary because I wanted to sit in the room and hear what they had to say. I walked out of that meeting and said they're going to lose. Best research money I ever spent. Interesting.
You were a Democrat for a long time, and I think even in support of Hillary Clinton, if I remember. And then there's had to be a day we woke up and think Trump is for real. Can you take us back to when that was and when it dawned on you that you guys are completely simpatico on these issues?
Yeah, so it's a good opportunity to clarify the record.
Please,
because
please.
I think we can scratch out some New York Times talking points.
Yeah, let's do that.
Never Democrat. Over the years, I would say I've donated $15 million to Republicans, maybe 300,000 or 400,000 to Democrats.
Wow.
Total. One notable was in 2000, I held a fundraiser for Al Gore.
Okay.
But you got to remember, back in 2000, Al Gore and George W. Bush were just like that.
Sure.
The two parties weren't like that.
Yes, it's true.
And you know, I actually think it's more the Republicans were here and the Democrats have just fallen off the left side of the page. So, and look, it might have been a very different world in terms of Iraq, Afghanistan, the endless wars. But I thought President Bush, on many things, did a good job.
Okay.
Someone said, "Oh, well, you donated to President Obama." During the primaries, I think I gave $1,500 because I disliked Hillary Clinton so much.
That's amazing.
So, and then I gave the money to something called Ready for Hillary because I wanted to go and sit in the room and hear what they had to say. And I walked out of that meeting and I said, they're going to lose. That's when Harold Ickes Jr. had this meeting in New York with a bunch of financial people, and that was the best research money I ever spent.
Boy, it must be nice. Wish I could spend that kind of research money casually on... Did he even say how much it cost him? Did I miss that? Do I even want to know? Probably not. Dustin Grage. Oh, on the ground in Minnesota. Okay. Left the Minnesota State Capitol after some productive meetings. Fraud out of control in this state. Yeah. And we're working hard to make sure the corruption's exposed.
Well, guys, just leaving the Capitol here now. Otherwise, just wanted to give you guys a little update and what to stay tuned for. As many of you know, there's rampant fraud coming out here in Minnesota. We're back in the news yet again. And we're working hard to actually keep this story at the forefront and not forget about it. 2026 is a whole entire year away from now. And we don't want people to forget what's actually happening today. Yesterday, we actually also had a judge overturn a jury conviction of someone who stole and fleeced $7.2 million from taxpayers through a Medicaid fraud scheme. So this isn't new. As you know, with our friend Chris Rufo, helped bring back to the forefront of this. A lot of these tax dollars are actually funding Al-Shabaab. So the members here at the House and the Senate are looking deeply into that, calling for investigations with our U.S. Attorney to actually uncover the proof behind that and actually get to it. But as you all also may know, well, actually, I'm going to let you guys know this. we actually have some members of our mainstream media here locally who are letting me know that they're actually pushing their newsrooms pretty heavy to actually cover this fraud in more detail. They're kind of sick that we are being embarrassed at the national level on these stories being covered or not. So they're actually pushing their newsrooms pretty heavy on this. And quite frankly, they're just tired of being accused of being racist for simply trying to do their jobs. So that's what we're looking into right now. We're actually on our way over to the courthouse now to pick up some exhibits from one of these cases. And stay tuned for more. It's going to be fun.
Good to see people on the ground doing the work on that stuff. I've seen Grage before. Okay, I follow him. Okay, columnist at Town Hall. That's cool. Good for him. Trump threatens to personally intervene in Indiana's Republican Senate primaries if they do not take up the new congressional maps. What were they? What were they talking about? Not doing that or something? The state GOP? These new maps would add 2 Republicans to the U.S. House. Get it done in... Okay, yeah. They're just, what, like dragging their asses on the matter, I guess. Let's read the whole post from here. It looks like the Indiana Senate Republicans will be coming back in 2 weeks to take up redistricting. A very important initiative to balance out the Democrats' endless suit to blue and census rigging strategy. Yep. That is stolen seats from Republicans, giving them to Democrats who would not have them if they played fairly. Radical left Democrats have rigged the game for a long time. Remember, until the great Speaker Newt Gingrich, Democrats controlled the House for 40 years in a row. That's right, yeah. And now Republicans must fight back for the American people who want and need the massive tax and regulation cuts, lower prices, strong borders, powerful military, and safe cities that Republicans are delivering and Democrats are fighting against every step of the way. Democrats, if they steal power back, will again give us the highest ever inflation. True. Sky-high prices. Yep. I think it's bad now. Man. Open borders, transgender for everybody, DEI, and unlimited violent crime that they caused and allowed until we came back into office this year. Republicans must do what's necessary to stop the destruction of our country by these people who hate America and are so ungrateful for the opportunities our nation has given them. Our country and democracy is special, and we must do everything we possibly can to defend it from the far-left infiltrators who want to destroy it. I'm glad to hear the Indiana House is stepping up to do the right thing, and I hope the Senate finds the votes. If they do, I'll make sure that all of those people supporting me win their primaries and go on to greatness, but if they don't, I will partner with the incredibly powerful mega grassroots Republicans to elect strong Republicans who are ready to do what's needed to protect our country and make America great again. Threatening to replace anybody that doesn't play ball. Okay, I meet Gail Ferguson, a professor at University of Minnesota, pushing the idea that whiteness is a pandemic that is driving a racism pandemic in the U.S. Oh yeah, this is not the only thing either. Yep, here, look at this. University of Minnesota has a page on their website titled Whiteness Pandemic, which blames whiteness for perpetuating systemic racism in Western culture. They claim that white people have power and privilege and want families to push anti-racism on their children. They also recommend groups such as none other than BLM for people to develop their own white racial identity. How do they put it? Let's see. To help you on your journey of self-reflection, pursuing growth in your own white racial identity, while actively listening to and amplifying voices of Black individuals and other individuals of color. Here are some suggestions for ways to further develop your own white racial identity. It basically amounts to hate yourself and give money to BLM. That's it. That's the program. Let's hear this psycho. This should be good.
We posit that there is a whiteness pandemic behind the
God.
Racism pandemic, and that this begins in the family system where young children are socialized into the culture of whiteness within white families. Our first recommendation is to remember that the whiteness pandemic is a pandemic. If you were born and raised in the United States, especially in a white family, then you've been raised in the pandemic, and you can play a role in halting and reversing this pandemic.
That's how they view white people.
We have two
and talk about them in open terms in places of learning, or places that used to be at one time places of learning.
specific.
A pandemic. White people are a pandemic. A disease.
We raised in the pandemic, and you can play a role in halting and reversing this pandemic.
That kind of sounds like a call for genocide. I don't know. I'm just saying. Just kind of sounds like a maybe a call for genocide. Could be.
We have two specific recommendations to that end. The first is for white parents to invest time in their own racial identity development through joining an organization like Showing Up for Racial Justice or your local BLM chapter. We posit that
Imagine recommending BLM in 2025. Oh, we. New court legislation will remove the right to trial by jury in thousands of cases in an attempt to prevent criminals delaying their cases. What? This is in the UK? Yeah. Government ministers will vote on legislation removing the right to trial by jury. Wow. In a move which promises to speed up the justice process and shrink the court backlog. You know how else you could shrink the court backlog? Kicking people out of the country that aren't supposed to be there. Shocking idea, I know. Send them back where they came from, and maybe then your court backlog will magically shrink. President Trump and DHS Secretary Noem terminate temporary protected status for migrants from Myanmar or Burma, meaning they can now be deported within weeks. Good. Goodbye. Adios. Bon voyage. Have fun back at home. "14 people indicted in an international porch pirate theft ring in New York." International, huh? Whoa.
Just in time for the holiday shopping season, an international theft ring brought down on Long Island. Welcome back. I'm Steve Lacey.
And I'm Natasha Burma. These are not your average porch pirates. Prosecutors say a network of runners were given FedEx tracking information to help them steal boxes moments after they got delivered.
All right, Fox 5's Arthur Chen has a look at the sophisticated crime ring.
Sheesh.
That's awful, because I get a lot of deliveries.
The efficiency of these alleged porch pirates seemed uncanny. Over a 2-year investigation, there were times it seemed like they were waiting for the FedEx delivery person to arrive. And just their luck, across more than 30 towns in Suffolk County, they seem to only be there for cell phones being delivered or other expensive
Whoa, it's almost like the FedEx people were in on it.
electronics. The coincidence raised eyebrows.
We saw clearly a pattern developing with the cell phone, so we decided to investigate that pattern.
On Monday, the Suffolk County DA's office announced a takedown of a sophisticated porch pirate ring. 14 defendants indicted, the ringleader from the Bronx, where the stolen phones from Suffolk County would allegedly end up, then to be resold on the black market, domestically and internationally.
They had the technological ability to unlock the phones and utilize them either as internet devices or communication devices or both.
While authorities have now charged 14 people as part of this sophisticated ring, they say they are still working on rooting out how it is that the group came by such insider information from FedEx, the tracking information of these electronic.
I'm pretty sure they had someone on the inside. That's the only way that happens, dude. Not hard. Not hard to figure out. Okay, what do we got here?
Thank you.
Oh, Maxine. Golly. Bag of skin and bones. Look at her.
Very much.
I am so pleased that Robert Garcia is here and the mayor is here. This is an important press conference that is being held to let you know what we're all doing, resisting this low-down, dirty, no-good, filthy president of the United States of America. Thank you very much.
Wow. ICE has been spotted in Muslim-dominated Dearborn, Michigan, arresting illegal aliens. Good. More of that, please. Get them out. Out on the streets. Gonna have to do more than that, though. A lot more up there. Ooh. They need big numbers up there. Former head of NATO during Obama here, who was also an advisor to NewsGuard, remember them, which censored and financially assassinated thousands of American news outlets. Yeah. That NewsGuard. Who is this? What's his name? Anders Fogh Rasmussen? Ah, yes. There he is. Former head of NATO during Obama. Helped shape what would later become NATO's tanks to tweets doctrine. Creepy. Okay, more from Minnesota.
10.
And yet another one. Abdimajid Nur received a 10-year prison sentence for his role in a $300 million fraud scheme. What?
10 years in prison for one of the Feeding Our Future fraudsters convicted in the first trial for the pandemic meal fraud scam.
Wow.
Abdimajid Nur and his co-defendants stole $47 million in their part of the $300 million scheme. They claim to serve 18 million meals at phony sites like the small Empire Cuisine and Market in Shakopee.
Wow.
Noor's job was creating the fake meal counts and invoices, plus the rosters filled with made-up names of kids. He used fraud money for a trip to the Maldives and to get a college degree.
Oh, wow.
Spending money on the website paymetodoyourhomework.com.
It's so freaking on brand.
To finish it. On top of it all, Noor played a key role in trying to bribe
These people are all the same, dude.
Juror in hopes of getting a not guilty verdict in his trial. Lead prosecutor Joe Thompson said in court,
sick culture they come from.
This country offered the defendant everything. The opportunity for a life, the opportunity to live in peace. And he paid us back by playing us all for fools. I'm Lou Raguse. Follow for more news.
Again, seems to be a pattern with these people. Ann Kirkpatrick, superintendent of the New Orleans police, says that illegally invading the U.S. is a civil issue, and her police force will not enforce civil law. Cute.
Our confirmation from the judge that we are formally out of the consent decree, but along the way I have preferred to use the term that we've graduated. We have taken back our own ownership of our agency. To be in the country undocumented is civil issue. We will not enforce civil law, and so our support...
I found one that needs to be deported, DHS. Right here. Right here. This one.
Is to make sure they're not going to get hurt and our community is not in danger. Our confirmation...
Liberal white woman suggests for President Trump to allow U.S. citizens to bail out illegal immigrants for $10,000. Allow us to bail them out, and if they don't commit any more crimes for 5 years, then they get their citizenship, and we get our $10K back. How about, here's another idea. They go the fuck home, and that's it.
Dear Donald Trump, can we please make it so that American citizens can post bail for undocumented immigrants?
No.
Hear me out.
No. Nope. Not doing it. Rep. Eric Swalwell files federal civil lawsuit against Trump housing official Bill Pulte. Oh, wow. Alleging that Bill Pulte violated Swalwell's privacy and First Amendment rights. Adorable. Suit asks the court to direct Pulte withdraw the criminal referral and pay compensatory damages. I don't think that's going to work. Well. Charlotte, North Carolina has programs where illegals are shielding from ICE. Oh, safe spaces for illegals.
We need more assistance down those, okay, at those entrances.
Oh, gosh.
Hi, Donald. This is Lily from Arbridge. I'm just calling because we had reports that ICE is probably on campus. We were wanting to see if we could make rounds.
You're calling the wrong Donald, my dear.
Inside, please.
This after-school program in East Charlotte has been a safe space for immigrant children.
Yes, in the front entrance.
But today, there are reports that Customs and Border Patrol agents are approaching.
And I'd like people down at this entrance as well to just watch that door. Do not.
Staff rush to lock down the building.
They do not have the right to be on this. This is private property.
They say this is the second day in a row that immigration enforcement has showed up.
We're walking up right now to a TBP sighting here.
In a statement to the Times, the Department of Homeland Security stated it did not target a school or daycare and denied trying to enter or make any arrests near the building. Across Charlotte, more than 370 people have been arrested so far, sending large parts of the
Is that it? Gonna need to be a lot more than that.
immigrant community here into hiding.
A lot of families, even regardless of legal status, they're afraid and they're staying home.
People aren't going
How ridiculous.
to work, businesses are closing, and kids aren't going to school. According to city officials, about 20% of the city's student population
You know how they could solve all of that? By going home.
was missing from school on Monday.
You know, to their country of origin, where they belong.
La verdad, sí vivimos con una gran incertidumbre,
Can't even speak fucking English.
porque de hecho nosotros, no sé si fue el sábado, que agarraron a un vecino por acá. Carros acá rondando, se iban para allá. Entonces dije yo, esto
I can't understand you. Go back to your country.
debe de ser de la policía, porque
Bye.
los de ICE, porque entraban rondando así, se iban para allá, y de ahí para allá, y dije yo,
Dear God. I hate the sound of Spanish now. It sucks because it's a beautiful language otherwise. But it grates on you. Like if you live in a place where you hear it all the time, just in casual conversation, in places where you used to hear English, it fucking sucks. I hate it. I hate hearing it. I don't like that. I would like to like hearing Spanish. But I just don't. I just don't anymore. Ruben Gallego is under significant backlash from other Democrats for saying the quiet part out loud. Democrat women look like Democrat men. And Democrat men look like women. We look like the not fun party, not allowing men to be men and women to be hot. Oh, Ruben. Well, now it's public. You may as well just leave them. Come on, buddy. You can do it. A man living in America illegally since 1992 has been deported out of the country. His family is crying about him not getting due process. Wah.
Hey, good morning. The family of a man taken by ICE last week says their father has now been deported to Mexico. Paulino Martin San Pedro's family tells us he's lived in Washington County since 1992.
Does he speak English?
They say Martin did not receive due process, though. For 3 decades, he's worked as a handyman in Beaverton. He's originally from Mexico and undocumented, but he doesn't have a criminal record. And ICE raids have had a big impact on Washington County recently, which declared a state of emergency due to federal actions. We've also reached out to ICE about Martin's case, but we have not yet heard back. Hey, good morning. The family of a man taken by ICE last week says their father has now been deported to Mexico.
Mm-mm-mm. Pentagon boss Pete Hegseth on Wednesday. Tomorrow we'll visit the Dominican Republic, close U.S. Caribbean ally, for talks on combating drug trafficking amid a standoff between the U.S. and Venezuela. Pennsylvania governor signs what? The Crown Act into law? Designed to prevent hair discrimination in the workplace, schools, and places of business in Pennsylvania. Hair discrimination? Oh, God. Do I even want to know how cringe this is going to be? This is going to be bad.
Today, when I sign the Crown Act into law, that will be...
All right, that's right. I can wear my dreadlocks now and shit.
That will be
all right. That's right.
Step in making good on that promise of bringing about real freedom for all Pennsylvanians.
This public policy campaign is my brainchild in a nationwide effort I have led since 2018. Determining it was necessary to change the law to help redress the long-standing and problematic practice of racial discrimination in the form of hair discrimination, I subsequently developed the national legislative, social impact, and coalition building strategies for this movement, because for too long, a myopic notion of professionalism and Eurocentric standards of beauty have perpetuated racial inequity and exclusion.
Gobbledygook.
Too many Black children have been suspended and missed what
Like little protein with your word salad, perhaps.
should be valuable instruction time because their hair, worn in ways that are aligned with their racial identity, have been deemed a violation of school rules.
I am a child growing up in the Virgin Islands with natural hair. Natural hair has been braids, twists, locks all my life. That's all I know is, I still have locks.
Oh my God. You did. I swear I didn't watch this. I didn't watch this before. I had no idea. But she just did it.
But wearing my
Good Lord.
natural hair has been all that I know. But as I opened my salon and spoke to different clients that wear braids, that's telling me, Lorraine, I have to take these braids out. I have a job interview. Or Lorraine, I have to
Oh no.
cut my locks down because my job stays too long. And the recent one was my client who says, Lorraine.
Oh no. White people daring to have standards of appearance at their places of employment. Oh my God.
Talking about me. I have to do something. I have to cut my locks because of my job. They saying it's unprofessional to have locks. And I'm
I mean, it is.
like, wow.
Look, we know that this is an issue that disproportionately affects Black Pennsylvanians who wear their hair in protective styles like locks and...
God. Every bit as cringe as I expected. Oh, moving on to further cringe, in case you did not have enough. We have Joy Reid saying that, illegal is like the N-word, but for brown people.
Vance has a problem in that the base of MAGA is fundamentally racist. Yeah, I know people don't like it when you say it, but it's the emergence from the Tea Party to MAGA. Yeah. Tea Party, when you finally did the actual data, PRRI and others, the thing that most motivated them was race and hatred of non-white immigrants. Mm-hmm. What most motivates MAGA? Hatred of non-white immigrants. Yeah. They're obsessed with non-white immigrants.
I don't hate them. I just want them to go back where they belong, in their own nice countries which they came from, which they can make nicer when they go back, now that they've, had the wonderful experience of living in my country.
Yeah. Undocumented people, they use the term illegals, which is just the N-word for brown people. 100%. If you want to say the N-word and it's about brown people, you say illegals. I'm sorry I said it again. That is me saying the N-word about that is what it is, right? And that's what motivates them. So
if I wanted to call them the N-word, I'd call them that.
They can't have the successor to MAGA be the guy with the brown Hindu wife. They're also Christian nationalists. That ain't gonna work. That's why he's throwing his wife under the bus. Or Usha.
Like, believe me, I'd just say it.
Or she's in on it, right?
And
she's
playing
wicked, too.
slap and tickle with Erica Kirk's the weirdest shit I've ever seen. Yeah, she's like in her Tammy Faye era.
Okay, holding on the back of his head and rubbing on his head.
Some weird shit.
Baby. Don't do that to Jason. I'm going to start thinking
Yeah, what does
something
that shirt say, by the way?
going on. Why are you holding the back of his head? I'm like,
F Trump.
like you
F ICE. Free Palestine. Free DC.
not doing
Unoccupy Chicago.
that right thing. You're supposed to be a widow. You in
For,
leather pants?
Yeah.
I don't know what the next one is, but it's equally retarded, I'm sure.
That's not widow wear.
Free Portland. Yeah.
Could you imagine if...
Wouldn't it be the most perfect fairy tale, MAGA fairy tale?
Yeah.
If he finally sees the light that he needs a white queen instead of this
Oh my gosh, they're obsessed with this.
brown
It's
ended?
like this weird, bizarre, like erotic fan fiction thing that they have. Like they fantasize over, they obsess over. What? How would you combine their names? I'm sure they've done it already. You can't really do it with JD because he's got initials. But they live doing the portmanteau name.
I mean, I'm not saying that's happening.
Right.
Or maybe that Usha's not even in on it. Maybe she's whatever. But that's one entrant. Another entrant is frankly Donald Trump Jr. If he can, keep it together, because he's got the name.
Yeah.
He's the son.
Yeah.
Maybe it's him, right?
Right.
And then there's other entrants. Bannon can't do it because he's sloppy and look a hot mess, and then
Yeah.
like a ugly man. You know what I mean? You're hideous. That's not gonna be him. So it's like, well, who could it be? Charlie Kirk was said to be one of the contestants to inherit the throne. Well, he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other person there are two other people who I think are potential inheritors that we don't talk about as much because neither of them are politicians. One of them is Tucker Carlson.
Yeah,
Who has
totally.
been positioning himself for a long time.
When he's not getting attacked by demons.
In his sleep.
That's fucking crazy.
Come
You mean like you people, or
on now.
Oh, you're referring to the story you told about getting attacked by like an actual demon. He's attacked by demons on the daily, but hey. Holy crap, DOJ employee has been arrested for doxing an agent to a person on a live stream with his personal info in Texas. What?
First at 5, a federal employee charged with terrorism. She is accused of sharing the name of a federal agent with someone who made a threat against them. Thank you for joining us at 5. I'm Christine Galvan. Javi is off today. We learned of Karen De Leon's arrest just within the last 20 minutes. The Cameron County DA's office says she revealed the agent's name on a social media live stream. The stream was part of a federal law enforcement operation in June. Another man reportedly made a death threat toward one of the agents in the live stream. That is who she allegedly gave the agent's name to. The DA's office says De Leon is an employee at the United States Attorney's Office in Brownsville.
Wow.
She is charged with terrorism and tampering with evidence. First at 5, a federal...
Oh, to those of you asking who the other two were in this, one of them is, I don't remember her name, but this hag, it's both of them. They're both the ladies on that podcast. The ones that push Zoran Mamdani heavily. I forget her name already, but just, yeah, cringe plastic surgery white ladies from New York. This one's a real psychopath. The one on the left. Oh my gosh. Scary. She'd be like cheerfully pulling the lever on the guillotine for thousands of magos with a beaming, over-whitened smile shining at the TV cameras, I'm sure. Anyone remember her name? What's her name? I forget her name. Karen. Probably Karen something or other. Yeah, I don't remember. She was supporting Zoran big time. All right, what's next? Yeah, we did that. All right. U.S. revokes visa of Haitian official accused of backing gangs. Good. Yikes. Guess we don't get their name. Oh, no. Okay. Well, the gangs, Vive Ensemble and Grand Griffe, named terrorist organizations in May. Border Patrol agents checking immigration status of people eating tacos in Los Angeles.
I need you to back up.
Yes! Hitting the taco stand.
Thank you. Sir, United States Control, this is Immigration Special. Are you still in the United States? Thank you so much.
Don't make sure. Don't forget to stop by the Home Depot too, and the 7-Eleven.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Whatever. Fuck you.
Oh, getting some migrant sass there. Oh shit! Come back. Where'd you go? Come back here.
I need you to back up, sir.
I appreciate your fucking support. Where you come from?
Wow. Energy Group asks Homeland to deny Greta Thunberg entry to the U.S. due to disruptive behavior. Oh yeah, I heard she dumped a shitload of green dye into some river in Germany or something and got expelled from the country or something like that. Total moron move. American got a nail through his finger. What? Ew. So we rushed to the hospital in Florida. When we got there, he shows there isn't a single person who can check you in and who can quickly tell what's going on. They just have a self-check-in kiosk. That's terrifying.
Future of America says, oh, please, kiosk, okay? Got a nail.
Oh, no! Hell no, no!
So what, do I have chest pain? Do I have facial drooping or difficult?
I have a nail through my finger. Is there an option for nail through my finger?
Or just I'm always depressed, but chills, fever, cough.
It's great this guy can keep a good sense of humor throughout this.
Sudden lost taste. So, can I just push a button? I just need to see the doctor. Injury accident. There we go.
Yeah.
Welcome to America.
What if both your hands are chopped off? What do you do then?
Oh, there we go. Fucking bullshit.
Use your nose, I guess. Boop, boop, boop. Liberal U.S. states led by California on Tuesday said parents should continue to get their children immunized, contradicting what they said was dangerous misinformation on vaccines and autism issued by the federal government. Ooh. Showdown. Large crowd gathered. Oh, I saw some footage from this. This popped up on my phone. A large crowd gathered in a St. Paul neighborhood amid federal law enforcement operation in St. Paul that protesters believe was an ICE raid. A whole bunch of people showed up to the hood.
We're trying to figure out what happened. The community members are.
This is the one I'm thinking of. They had to eventually like clear the whole freaking thing out with like tear gas or something.
The details of this again because they don't.
This didn't have any of the other views. Yeah, it got crazy. Oh, we missed this one, but I'll drop a link for Sonny to play it. Caught on hidden camera, U.S. Government Accountability Office Director admits GAO staff stole and backed up vaccine data allegedly deleted by RFK Jr.'s HHS. Possible violations of federal records, theft, and CFAA laws. What? Okay. Revealed a covert effort inside GAO to preserve vaccine research data. Potensu admitted on hidden camera that GAO staff stole and backed up federal data to keep it outside RFK Jr.-led HHS control, a potential violation of several federal statutes. Yeah, so they can then try to just reinstate all of it immediately upon change of admin in the future. Tim Waltz, we're monitoring the situation in St. Paul, working to understand what unfolded. See if we can find any other footage real quick before I leave you. We received no heads up from federal authorities on this operation. Well, gee, I wonder why they wouldn't tip you off, Tim. Judge orders expedited processing of requests for records related to DOJ's handling of the Epstein files. Brian Ruth has challenged President Trump to beat him up while he's restrained, while also saying, "Don't be a pussy." Okay. Ruth, again, who was convicted in a September 2024 assassination attempt against Trump, formally invited Trump to appear at Ruth's sentencing hearing to punch Ruth in the face if Trump so desires. Most fun in decades, Ruth writes, because he enjoyed the charade surrounding him. All the attention. Gosh. All right, I'm going to drop that link for Sonny here. That is it for me. Top of the pile. Only a few minutes over, not too bad. All right, how you doing, Sonny?
Hi, I'm doing good.
Go.
I'm grabbing that link. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yes, indeed. You ready for Thanksgiving?
As ready as I'm ever going to be.
Yeah, good. Cool. Starving yourself in preparation? That's what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Minnesota's getting crappy weather. Like tonight, we're
Oh,
supposed
that
to get, I
sucks.
think we're supposed
Oh.
to get who knows how much snow.
Oh, yeah.
I
Speaking of
stopped
what's
looking.
flat, crap up from St. Paul real quick. Yeah, here's some
yeah,
of the
I
other
saw
angles. Look at all
that.
that.
Oh my gosh.
Here's after they broke out the tear gas. Oh, they got the whistles out. Oh my goodness.
And I don't even know that, like I'm sure there's paid people there or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
or, people that protest, but I think that so many people off the street or just are so programmed that they're jumping
Yeah, they
into these
see it
things.
and show up because it's something interesting, something that breaks the monotony of daily life.
And I've said many times, like our media here is so bad. Like Alpha News is about the only one that is unbiased. I mean, some of them are starting to pick up stories, but for the most part, our news was so trashed.
Yeah. Sad. Well, all right. I'll let you get to it here.
All right. Thanks, Pam.
Yeah, have a good show.
You too.
I will.
All right, folks, we're going to play this.
All right, guys. That's it for me. Let's see here. There we go. Cool. Yep. I will be back tomorrow evening. Got 2 days left. Yeah, 2 days left till Thanksgiving, so get ready. We already got our turkey all prepared, ready to go. All the rest of the fixins. Working on those today and tomorrow, so get ready. Starve yourselves. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night. Adios.